So what is cram down rule? Okay? Pag sinabi natin cram down rule class, it is a rule indicating that rehabilitation plan, which is including dito yung pre-negotiated plan, okay, or out of court negotiation or the court supervised, confirmed by the court, shall be binding upon the debtor and all persons who may be affected by it, including the creditors, whether or not such person have participated in the proceeding, opposed the plan, or whether or not their claims have been scheduled. So ibig sabihin, class, kapag court supervised yung plan at na-confirm ng korte, or pre-negotiated plan kapag na-confirm din ng court, okay, it is binding. Okay, binding. Kaya ang acronym natin dyan ay CRAB. Okay, CRAB. Okay. So, binding itong rehabilitation plan kapag confirmed by the court. That's cram down rule. Okay? What is stay or suspension order? The court shall issue a commencement order which shall include a stay order. So nakakalito naman, class, no? Iko-commence mo tapos i-stop mo, di ba? Commencement order with regard to the rehabilitation plan. Tapos may stop order or stop or suspension order with regard to those proceedings that are already filed in court against the debtor. Huwag mo nang ituloy. Yan. Or i-prohibit yung debtor from selling, encumbering, transferring, or disposing in any manner of its properties except in the ordinary course of business. Example po, kung ang business ng debtor is selling of goods, kasi mga groceries po yung kanyang business, ang ordinary course, magbenta siya ng groceries. Pero kung ibinibenta na niya ay lupa, building ng business, etc., bawal po, i-prohibit po yan. Commencement order includes the issuance of stay order, stop order. Okay? Prohibition or prohibit the debtor from making any payment of liabilities outstanding as of commencement date. Bawal kang mamili, debtor, ng babayaran mong creditor or liability. Huwag kang maging bias. Yan po sinasabi dyan. Okay? So yan yung mga effect ng suspension or stay order. Exception to the stay or suspension order, ito naman po yung mga, kumbaga, kahit na meron ng commencement order, magtutuloy pa rin siya. Those cases that already in the Supreme Court, alangan naman na yung highest court of the land, di ba, ay magbabow down dito sa tinatawag nating suspension order ng probably RTC lang po ito. Ayan. Subject to the discretion of the court to cases pending or filed at the specialized court or quasi-judicial bodies or agencies. Yung mga korte na meron pong quasi-judicial functions. No? Say for example, DOLE, yan, sa labor, di ba? O kaya naman sa finance, Department of Finance, etc. To any form of actions or of customers or of security market participation. So yung mga involved yung stock market, security market, okay, with regard to bonds, etc. Okay, actions of licensed brokers or dealers to sell pledged securities in accordance with the Securities Regulation Code. Okay, to enforcement of claims against sureties and other persons solidarily liable with the debtor. Yung mga yan, exception to the stay order. Lalo na yung last, criminal action against individual debtor or owner, partner, director, or officer of a debtor shall not be affected by proceeding commenced under FRIA. Hindi po mag-e-effect yung stop or stay order kapag may criminal liability ka outside FRIA. Say for example, meron kang liability for estafa, issuance of BP22 or issuance of bouncing check, I should say, in relation to BP22. Hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung rehabilitation plan or yung suspension order o kaya yung stay order para hindi mag-proceed yung case mo or criminal case mo against sa'yo. Yan. So, take note of this. And who will manage the debtor? Class, ang debtor, kapag juridical person, meron siyang board of directors, no, yung corporation. At meron din siyang top-level management. So, sinasabi ng batas, okay, as long as wala yung gap, Okay? Gross mismanagement, actual or imminent danger, paralyzation of the business operations of the creditor or debtor. As long as wala ito, yung board of directors or management of the debtor shall continue. Otherwise, then upon motion, the court may appoint a rehabilitation receiver or management committee or MANCOM. Ayan na. So take note of this. Kung wala yung gap, okay, board of directors and management pa rin ng debtor. Kung pag may gap, then the court will, of course, appoint a rehabilitation receiver or a management committee. What are the possible actions of the court in case of petition for rehabilitation? May tatlo po. Grant the petition or give due course kung napatunayan ng korte na yung debtor ay insolvent at may substantial likelihood of rehabilitation or SLR, that's our acronym. So kung kaya palang i-rehabilitate at insolvent yung debtor, then igagrant nila yung petition for rehabilitation. Or i-dismiss nila yung petition. Yung court i-dismiss niya. Bakit? Because the debtor is not insolvent. Diba? Or yung filing ay sham filing lang para lang mag-delay. No? Delaying tactic. Or there is fraud or misrepresentation. Or the act of the debtor is just to defraud the creditor. So ang acronym natin dyan ay funds. Ayan. Pag may funds, fraud or misrepresentation, the act is to defraud the creditor. Okay? Hindi siya solvent. Okay? And sham filing. Itong mga ito ay causes, no, ng dismissal ng petition. Or last, to convert the proceedings into liquidation proceedings if the debtor is insolvent and there is no substantial likelihood of rehabilitation. So last na rehabilitation, so we're done with the pre-negotiated, no, na-discuss natin kanina, pero babalikan natin mamaya. Out of court rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is not necessarily court supervised. Okay? So kaya out of court. This can be done in informal restructuring agreement or rehabilitation plan that meets the minimum requirement that is recognized in the FRIA. Ano yung requirement yun? Ito po yun, yung 67, 75, and 85 na diniscuss natin kanina. The debtor number 1 in accordance with section 84 of FRIA must agree to out-of-court rehabilitation. Okay? At in-approve ng creditors having 67%, okay, na secured obligation, 75% unsecured, and 85% total secured or unsecured. Okay? And of course, cram down rule shall also be applied in out-of-court rehabilitation kahit na hindi po kailangan ng confirmation, okay, pwede po na mag-bind pa rin yung tinatawag natin na out-of-court rehabilitation plan. Kaya tandaan yung acronym na CRAB. Okay? Sa cram down rule. Okay. Now,
bibili ka na kung bibili ka.
Suspension of payment. Okay? Only individual debtor may file petition for suspension of payment. Na-discuss na natin to kanina. Okay? Characteristics, the debtor has sufficient property to cover all his debt but foresees impossibility of meeting his debt when they fall due. So, ibig sabihin, class, meron po siyang property, solvent siya. The purpose is to suspend or delay payment. And the amount of indebtedness is not affected because ini-stop lang niya yung pag-pay pero it does not mean na wala siyang utang. The number of creditor is immaterial. Okay? So, i-compare natin ang stop or suspension of payment at rehabilitation. Ang parties involved ay individual debtors sa suspension. Ang rehabilitation, juridical debtors, SPC, Sole Prop, Partnership, and Corporation. Ang debtor natin ay solvent kapag suspension of payment. Kapag ka naman rehabilitation, it is insolvent. Insolvent. Ayan po. Okay? And there is substantial likelihood of rehabilitation. Kaya po itinutuloy po na yan. What is suspension order? Okay, upon motion filed by individual debtor, the court may issue an order suspending any pending action against individual debtor. Yan. So, i-stop court, no? Isususpend yung mga final na case against doon sa individual debtor. Pero may mga exception to that. When shall suspension order lapse? So, pag suspension order class, it is 3 months. After 3 months, without the proposed agreement being accepted by the creditor or as soon as such agreement is denied. Meron din tayong tinatawag na standstill order. Ibig sabihin, bawal pong mag-proceed sa mga kung anumang mga payment ng liabilities habang nagkakaroon ng negotiation or nagbibuild up. Okay? And the standstill order shall be for a period of 120 days. Okay? So, ayan. The following creditors are not affected by stay order. Yung creditors na meron pong claim sa personal labor maintenance expenses and yung funeral expense. Ibig sabihin, ito po yung mga with priority. Okay, with priority payment. And of course, secured creditors. Fully secured or partially secured creditors. Okay, fully secured. Okay. Or partially secured. They are not affected by the stay order kasi mababayaran pa rin naman sila. Okay? Liquidation process. Okay, let's proceed to liquidation. This is the proceeding when claims are filed and assets of insolvent debtor are disposed and the proceeds are divided among the creditors. Alam nyo na yan, class, no, yung liquidation. And these rules apply to individual debtor, sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. Okay, so this ends our discussion on part 2 of FRIA. Okay, so let's continue part 3, okay, of FRIA after a short break.